Hello, 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 darlings. Good evening, good evening. It's me. I'm back. You've got me again. It's on. It's actually midnight this time. For once, my midnight rant is actually at midnight. I've been up burning a little of the oil, as they say, completing some belly beads orders that have come through from some of my close friends that have seen me post about them and go, hey, so could I get in on that? So I've been finishing those up for them and getting them all ready to get sent out. And they haven't even launched yet, so super awesome. Hey, Miss Shauna. So here we are, Midnight Rant, number 5, 6, I don't know. Welcome, and thank you for joining me. Tonight I want to talk to you very briefly about following your inspirations, and it being a key to living your best life in the oddest of ways. And you never know how it's going to take form. And a lot of people can, back me up on this, and throw it down in the comments if you know what I'm talking about, right? Is that sometimes you'll just have an inspiration to do something. And that's kind of how these midnight rants actually got started. So we'll see where these go. But sometimes you'll just get inspired to do something. And you're kind of scared. You don't know if you should do it. You have a little bit of hesitation. You feel a little bit of that, right? But something either inside of you, something, your higher self, somebody, your ancestors, God, whoever you want to call it, right? Somebody or something gives you a little push. You give yourself a little push. And you just do it. You follow through. And you're like, not really expecting anything out of it, right? You're like, but I'm going to follow this just because, I had the feel. How many times has that actually played out well for you? Think about it. I just had a fun little instance that made me think of this. I want to share it. As I was scrolling through Facebook as I was finished doing up the mailing labels for the belly beads that I'm sending out tomorrow. And scrolling through Facebook, yes, Shauna knows. Shauna and I have worked together. Shauna knows. I was scrolling through Facebook, and this meditation came across my feed. That is a Let It Go meditation, and it had to do... I wish I could pull it up right now. Can I pull it up? Can I do that and talk to you guys at the same time? I don't know. Tay, if you watch this. Or Dallas. I said it to both of you. But it was basically... it's like what the fuck, let it go. Or something like that. And it basically had to do with the idea of not having to always use spiritual language to let go of your stuff. And that you can curse and use it as a spell and use it as language and use it for an effect, which is that interesting effect that everything serves double duty. So if you think it's a curse word in that sense, it'll be a curse word. But if you use it for the energetic power that's behind it, which is essentially neutral, you never know, right? So it was interesting, and I sent it to them. I sent it to my girl, and a few minutes later, she comes back. Shauna says survival rate 100% so far this life. I know, right? Thank goodness. Just be hopping timelines. So she hits me back and she says, okay, it's like you're in my head now. And what's funny is I didn't even actually listen to the meditation. I just saw it. I saw the picture. I saw what it was about. And I was like, ooh. I need to send this out to a few people right now. Even if they don't look at it, even if they miss it in the feed, I don't know. I'm just going to send it to a few close friends of mine that I know maybe could hear this right now. And a few minutes later, she hits me back. She's like, will you get out of my head? And it's funny. And I'm glad it served her. That's why I'm laughing, and that's why I'm very joyful, because it's a fun kind of immediate validation back point, viewpoint, kind of getting a little validation back, of following that intuition. Because maybe that actually really helped my friend, or another friend that I haven't even heard from yet, that I sent it to. Maybe it's really helped them. Maybe it really helped crack open their perspective on whatever it is that they feel like they're slogging through right now. What do I know? Maybe it gave them a good laugh, and that's all they needed. Maybe it didn't do anything. Maybe they're just like, oh, she's thinking of me. Who knows? Who knows what ripple effect your actions will have when you follow that intuition, when you follow that feeling. Hey, Kelly. Miss Law of Attraction Coach up in here, kind of talking about it in the sense that following your intuitive moments, following when you're inspired to do stuff, and how it all works out, and how it's interesting, how it can be seen to validate, or be seen to be validated pretty quickly, and serve people, which is amazing. Not only serve yourself, but serve others, so which is great. So that kind of happens too. Fun things, even crazy things, where, I don't know, you're driving down the street, 2-lane street, and something just tells you to move into the other lane. You don't really need to. You don't need to turn anytime soon. You're just like, I'll just drift over here. All of a sudden, somebody pulls out from the left-hand turn sign. Could have totally sideswiped you. But you weren't in the way anymore. Stuff like that's happened to me. Where it's kind of a moment of inspiration. It's in a moment of intuition. And you're going, you almost question it. You're like, do I need to do this? I don't know. And then something just tells you, yeah, just fucking do it. Fucking, will you just do it? Right? Do you guys get that voice? I get that voice. I don't know. Maybe mine's more sassy with me because it needs to be. And you do it. The follow through. It's all about the follow through. And then not necessarily expecting anything of it. Just going, oh, I'm going to follow it. There you go. Just lay it down. Just lay it down. Follow it and lay it down. Go back to whatever you're doing. It's so interesting to play with it as a tool. Play with it. See what happens. Catch yourself when you have an intuitive moment. Notice it. Okay. I'm going to follow it. Not going to think anything about it. I'm just going to follow it. And see what happens. See if you can repeat it. In the sense that the next time you become cognizant of your inspiration and follow it. Little moments. And it doesn't even have to be big, life-altering, life-changing things. It could be picking up a hobby. And then 6 months or a year later, that hobby becoming your career. It could be something as small as, I'm going to pick up this book right now that I bought, I don't know, 6-8 months ago. A year ago. More. I'm going to pick this book up. Start reading it. You don't even actually start in the beginning. You just kind of flip to the middle somewhere and you start reading. And it hits you like a ton of bricks. There we go. And it hits you like a ton of bricks. That's following your inspiration. That's how you're living your best life. That is you following your higher self, following your God, your inner God, following it, letting it surprise you, and enjoying the ride, living your best life. Because you never know. Your brain, based off of its previous experience and anything it's ever come across, can't even think or conceive of how stuff can really go down. How many times have you told a story where you're like, you just can't make that shit up? You couldn't have made that into a story. Like, somebody couldn't have written that. You just can't make that shit up. How many times have you had that happen? That's your intuition. That's your higher self. That's the universe mechanics at work. So play with it as a tool and see what happens. So follow your inspiration. Follow your intuition. Enjoy it. And live your best life. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys next time. Drop your comments below. If you got any questions or anything you maybe want me to shout out to while I'm out here pondering in the stars, let me know. I'll see you guys soon. Have a great night.